If you think that Universal Children's Day would be enough to celebrate, think again. United Nations also organizes International Youth Day, which centers on tweens and teens and their societal position. It is not only celebrated to protect them, but to involve them in the development of communities around the planet, irrespective of whether they are rich or poor. Every year International Youth Day is held on the 12th of August. It is an idea that praises the talents of young people and recognizes the challenges that are faced by youth today. International Youth Day was commenced in 2000 and was organized by the United Nations to applaud the role that young people play in education, employment, conflict resolution, and social justice, to name a few. Among the pivotal issues for youth development and protection with this UN initiative include education, employment, the environment, delinquency, girls and young women, HIV/AIDS, and intergenerational relations. These were authoritatively decided upon in 1995, which was the 10th anniversary of the International Year of the Youth. The theme of International Youth Day 2021 is Transforming Food Systems, Youth Innovation for Human and Planetary Health. This theme highlights the aim that the accomplishment of such a global struggle will not be attained without the significant contribution of young people. During the 2021 ECOSOC Youth Forum, that is EYF, the young participants pinpointed the issues and priorities, including the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic, especially related to its effect on human health, the environment, and food systems. As part of the formal recommendations of the EYF, young participants emphasized on the significance of working towards more equitable food systems and on offering adequate capacity development with respect to the suppleness of food systems, particularly during the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic and in its aftermath. In addition to this, they underlined the need to make informed decisions on food selections through improving global education on the healthiest and most sustainable choices for both individuals and the environment. Recommendations were made regarding food systems that incorporate not only the basics of how we get food from farms to the table, but also all the procedures and infrastructure involved in nourishing a population, and the undesirable outwardness that can be produced during the process, such as air and ocean pollution, besides desertification. Unsustainable farming practices and the climate crisis can also increase the risk of zoonotic diseases. Population health is also vital in concentrating on food systems challenges, notably as nutrition-linked chronic diseases, including obesity, diabetes, cardiovascular disease, and some forms of cancer, are foremost contributors to the global load of disease. As the world's population is expected to increase by 2 billion people in the next 30 years, it has become identified by several stakeholders that merely generating a larger volume of healthier food more sustainably will not guarantee human and planetary well-being. There is a need for comprehensive support mechanisms that make certain that youth go on to amplify efforts individually and collectively to re-establish the planet and protect life, while incorporating biodiversity in the revolution of food systems.
Mga kababayan, ang pambansang awit ng Pilipinas.
Dear God, thank you for the amazing world you have made. Help us to care for every aspect of your creation. Thank you for the wonders of physics, medicine, and astronomy. Help us to engage with each facet of the universe. Thank you for the power of the creative arts. Help us to pioneer new vision and sounds in our generation. Thank you for our incredible minds and bodies. Help us to become all we could be as individuals. Thank you for our family, friendships, community and relationships. Help us to accept, nurture and forgive one another. Thank you for all these great things in our lives. May we play our part in bringing peace, prosperity and justice to all. Amen.
Good morning, good afternoon, good day, world. Thank you for joining us this afternoon to our friends and colleagues from all over the world, especially those in the region, when I mean region, our ASEAN neighbors, and of course, beyond the region. Thank you also to our teachers who are viewing us live this afternoon via Facebook page, and also good friends of the International Cooperation Office, the Department of Education Central Office. We are happy to bring you this event this afternoon with our young people, where you will be hearing their voices, their sharings of their life, as we all move on at this time of the pandemic. So this afternoon's hosts are good friends of the Department of Education and who have been making the department proud, of course, of their accomplishments, their milestones as teachers. So this afternoon we are happy to have with us a good friend of the department and as well as the pride of the private sector or the private schools, Mr. Jim Toscano of the Empower Ed, the co-founder of Tag Pros Philippines, and at the same time a Global Teacher Prize ambassador. Sir Jim is both a trainer and a speaker and has a lot of projects and innovations focusing on the empowering of learners. He is actually one of those who received the Global Teacher Prize award or the ambassadorship in 2017. And he is known for his Kids Can Innovation Camp, where he is recognized by 100 organization in Finland as one of the 10 most highlight sustainability project in education. Another host this afternoon is a colleague at the Department of Education based in Region 6, the home of the champions, Dr. Jesus Ensalada, who was actually also a Global Teacher Prize ambassador who made it to the top 10 in 2018. Dr. Ensalada is also a recipient of the Princess Maha Shakri Award and is a leader, a champion, championing the indigenous peoples' materials of the peoples of Panay Bukidnon community. And he works as well with, of course, our IP education and is an NCCA recipient for his writings or his novels in Hiligaynon, and also a Carlos Palanca awardee for the short stories he has written. This afternoon, we bring you this session in collaboration with National Youth Commission, Empower Ed, the United Nations Young Association of the Philippines, or Youth Association of the Philippines, and of course, the team of the International Cooperation Office of the Department of Education. Friends, ladies and gentlemen, introducing to you two teachers of the Philippines and of the world, Dr. Jesus Ensalada and Sir Jim Toscano. Jim and Jess, take it away.
Thank you
Thank
very
you,
much,
Director
Doc Marsh,
Mark.
for that kind introduction.
Hi, Jesus. Good
Hi, how
afternoon.
are you, my brother? Good afternoon, brother Jim. You know, we call each other brothers, and I have been blessed with your company, with all your support from the Global Teacher Prize, and I'm very happy to co-host with you with today's forum.
Thank you, Director Jesus. And the same sentiments also. We are both happy to welcome everyone to the Youth Talks Rising Above and Beyond the Global Pandemic. Good afternoon, good morning, good noon to every one of us. I know that we have a lot of colleagues watching our program, our live virtual program all over the Philippines, and even around the region, Southeast Asia region, and of course around the globe. To give a brief background, the International Youth Day is observed every August 12 as mandated in the Resolution 54-120 adopted in the United Nations General Assembly in 1999. The International Youth Day aims to celebrate the role and relevant contributions of the youth in the society in advancing growth and developments in their respective community. Also, to raise awareness on the issues and struggles they are facing, especially in the midst of the global pandemic that needs to be recognized and addressed to ensure that all our youth will be able to thrive today and even tomorrow post pandemic. Of all the heartbreaking effects of COVID 19, its impact on young people could prove to be one of its most damaging legacies. In fact, the coronavirus crisis risks turning back the clock on the years of progress made on youth's well being, and of course, has put their rights under serious pressure across the globe.
That's right. And to continue, we will have the chance to hear and listen to the outstanding and exemplary youth today as they share their own experiences and struggles, coping mechanisms that help them and their communities survive the global pandemic. Also, to share the vital role and contribution of the youth in their respective communities, especially in the management of the COVID-19 outbreak. Through this discussion, we hope that we'll be able to provide a platform for the youth to voice out their thoughts and insights, to share their experiences, and to inform everyone that the young ones have the capacity to make a positive change and to create a vital contribution to their communities and beyond.
Start with our program, we will be hearing a message from the Secretary General of the United Nations, Mr. Antonio Guterres.
Young people are on the front lines of the struggle to build a better future for all. The COVID 19 pandemic has highlighted the dire need for the kind of transformational change they seek, and young people must be full partners in that effort. This year's International Youth Day highlights solutions developed by young innovators to address challenges to our food systems. They are tackling inequities in food security, biodiversity loss, threats to our environment, and much more. We see that same drive, creativity, and commitment in many other areas, from gender equality to education and skills development. But young people cannot do it on their own. They need allies to make sure they are engaged, included, and understood. Guided by the United Nations System-Wide Youth Strategy, Youth 2030, the UN is strengthening its work for and with young people worldwide. I urge everyone to guarantee young people a seat at the table as we build a world based on inclusive, fair, and sustainable development for all. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Secretary General Guterres. Now, we'll be hearing a message from the Secretary of the Department of Education, Secretary Leonor Magtolis Briones.
Good day, all young people in the Philippines, and the Asian region, and the rest of the world as we celebrate the 22nd International Youth Day today. I greet especially the United Nations Youth Association of the Philippines, or UNYAP, and at the same time, I also greet the Academic East Stakeholders Solidarity, or ACCESS, which is a broad alliance of junior and senior high school student councils, government organizations, and education stakeholders patterned in a grassroots-based set of objectives that aims to echo the voices of the marginalized and those who are deprived of education. So, happy International Youth Day. We have always emphasized and recognized the immense power and promise of the youth in our land, in our Asian region, as well as the rest of the world. When I was a student at the University of the Philippines, and we would mobilize gigantic marches of up to 150,000 students and learners converging and going around Greater Metro Manila, landing in Malacanang or in Luneta, meeting dignitaries and heads of states, especially from those big and rich countries. Those were the days of what we called student power, when students, when young learners demanded that they should have a say, not only in education, but also in the way the country is being run. These days, we encourage youth organizations to contribute to national development as much as they can. They are in the boards of student organizations. They are in the board of directors of big universities and schools, and they take over the government at least a few times a year so that they will have a feel of what it is like to be running a country or running a nation. We have very happy memories of our days of participation in all these events, and we are also very happy that at present our youth organizations, not only in other countries, not only in our Asian region, but also right here in the Philippines, our youth organizations are listened to. Our student councils are encouraged to speak out and say what they feel education should be. This is exemplified by the organization, the stakeholders group, the solidarity, which we call ACCESS, wherein student organizations tell or share with administrators, with teachers, and with the national government their views on how education should be delivered and what teaching and education should contain. And so we greet you, we salute you. As Rizal himself said, and this is very, very well known, he has said that the youth are the hope of the fatherland. Definitely, they are not only the hope or the future of the fatherland and the motherland. They are also participants, contributors, and citizens of the motherland, not only in the future, but also at present. And so, I greet all the youth organizations, whether here in the Philippines, out there in the Asian region, or even in the entire global associations of youth organizations. I greet you a very happy, forceful, powerful celebration of the 22nd International Youth Day. Good day, everyone.
Indeed, the youth is the future of our country. Thank you, Secretary Briones. We will also be hearing from the Chairperson and CEO of National Youth Commission, Mr. Ryan Enriquez.
Today is a red letter day because it marks yet another celebration of International Youth Day across the world. The fact that it is the second celebration during these challenging times when the pandemic is still very much around makes it even more crucial at this time when the coronavirus is threatening our very survival. It is but proper to focus our attention on food systems and planetary health. Hence this year's theme of transforming food systems. Youth Innovation for Human and Planetary Health. You, our young people, our future generation, have a big role to play in the success of our global effort to come up with a viable food systems that promote overall health. In your hands lies the key to a tomorrow where everyone has enough food on the table. And we don't stop at having just enough. You, the leaders of tomorrow, must make sure this source of sustenance protect the most important resources of all, human life. Without this, our planet cannot last long enough to sustain you and your children's children. The handwriting on the wall is everywhere. We don't want to scare you, but numbers don't lie. The world's population will grow by 2 billion in the next 30 years. So we need to produce a lot more healthier food to answer the growing population's needs. We must promote biodiversity and fight one of its biggest enemy, climate change. How can we feed the booming population if we don't have a wide choice of plants, fish, animals, and microorganisms to provide us with healthy food? The oceans, marine, and plant life we protect are our saving grace. So, to other young people whom we snatched from the jaws of illiteracy, the girl we snatched from poverty and teen pregnancy, today we can be the leader of tomorrow. Unfortunately, the uneducated are the most susceptible to poverty, teen pregnancy, HIV/AIDS, and other modern-day scourges. Lack of education keeps the youth ignorant of ways to protect themselves against forces that destroy their body and soul. A World Bank report says girls in Latin America and the Caribbean with poor education are more prone to teenage pregnancy and early motherhood. The same report says poverty keeps girls from mastering their destiny, so they lose job opportunities. They fail to finish their studies or reach a respectable level of education. The same thing holds true for HIV/AIDS patients, who, accordingly to a 2018 report, are rising in numbers. In fact, 62% of new AIDS cases in the Philippines in 2018 occurred among those aged 15 to 24. This sector can be a valuable source of manpower someday. We feel sad when we see young people communist terrorists recruit to seize power in government instead of using their idealism and young minds for progress. These budding leaders are led astray by elements that sow terror and undermine peace. This is why at the National Youth Commission have devoted a substantial part of the 2017-2022 Philippine Youth Development Plan or PYDP to fight hunger, teenage pregnancy, HIV/AIDS, and other enemies of growth. In fact, PYDP's aspirations are aligned with the United Nations 17 Societal Development Goals that include the elimination of hunger and poverty. We are fighting hunger to maintain peace. Hungry mouths are the most easily swayed by force that quash the status quo. So we are urging the youth to engage in backyard gardening and create urban vegetable gardens. We're not just eyeing food sustenance, we're also targeting economic survival. Remember, ours is an agricultural country. We must invest in crops and develop future farmers among the youth. We're promoting peace and non-violence in disaster-prone communities and urban areas. We are also strongly promoting anti-COVID vaccinations, voter registration, and application to the national ID system to give the youth a better tomorrow. This as we join hands in supporting food systems that promote human and planetary health the world over. Here's to you, our hope for the future. Here's to a healthier planet as all. Mabuhay ang kabataang Pilipino. This is your ally, Chairperson Ryan Enriquez of the National Youth Commission.
Thank you so much, Mr. Enriquez, for that informative as well as inspiring message. You know what, Brother Jim, we truly appreciate the partnership that we have with the National Youth Commission for all other advocacies, especially in the holding of this event. Let us hear another message from the National Youth Commission, highlighting the theme of this year's International Youth Day, Transforming Food Systems, Youth Innovation for Human. Let us hear it with the Chair of Committees on Environment and Global Mobility, Commissioner Paul Pangilinan.
Isang mga kabataang araw po sa ating lahat. First of all, I want to greet all of my fellow Filipino youth Happy International Youth Day at maligayang Linggo ng Kabataan. I hope all of you are doing well and safe as we continue to face these challenging times. The unprecedented COVID-19 pandemic, which continues to afflict many nations around the world, including the Philippines, has revealed important lessons for all of us to take action moving forward. The border restrictions and quarantine measures being put in place to curb the spread of COVID-19 has disrupted the flow of goods and services, particularly the supply of food. Thus, one great lesson this had brought was ensuring a sustainable and resilient food system. This year's International Youth Day highlights the importance of food security and the youth's meaningful participation and innovation in transforming food systems towards human and planetary health. Food is definitely one of our basic necessities. It gives us energy and nutrition. It gives us power and strength to fulfill our duties and perform well in our daily activities. During this pandemic, food is very much important in keeping our immune systems healthy and in keeping us away from contracting the deadly virus. Yes, we need food to survive, but we must also ensure that our food production and consumption does not threaten the mere survival of our planet. As such, there's a need to transform our food systems from farming up to the time it reaches our tables. We must not continue degrading our environment and losing biodiversity to generate food. Moreover, we should learn to adapt to the challenges in agriculture brought about by climate change. With your innovativeness, talents, and skills in maximizing technology, the youth has a vital role to play in this transformation of food systems, which puts premium to environmental protection and human health. The Philippine government recognizes the youth as a key driver of food security and resilience. For the past years, the government, through the Department of Agriculture, has relentlessly supported and encouraged the youth's participation in agriculture by spearheading capacity building activities and providing grants and loans to aspiring agripreneurs to start their agri-fishery enterprise. Through our own simple ways, we can also help in this global food challenge. While we continue to stay at home during this pandemic, let us eat healthy and consume our food responsibly to reduce food wastage. In addition, we can also level up our journey as plantitos and plantitas by planting vegetables in our backyard, in our garden, or even in pots. This may be little things, but when we make this a habit, it contributes to positive change. I know many of us, especially the young people, are going through a lot of things right now because of this pandemic. But instead of dwelling on the negativities, let us continue to have a positive outlook. This pandemic is not just a one big fight, but it is a marathon that we continue to face. It is teaching us significant lessons that in order for us and our planet to survive, we must put greater effort and work in solidarity. Until such time that we learn to work together, then and only then, we will rise and achieve a more sustainable and resilient future for all. Maraming salamat po at mabuhay ang kabataang Pilipino.
Thank you very much, Commissioner Pangilinan, for that message focusing on this year's theme. Brother Jim, what are in store for us this afternoon?
All right. Thank you, Dr. Jesus. Now to proceed with our program, we will now be introducing the pool of resource speakers for this afternoon. May I start with Mr. John Bernard de Gracia. Born and raised in Narvacan, Ilocos Sur, Philippines, John Bernard D. de Gracia is the editor-in-chief of the Rabbi, the official student publication of the College of Teacher Education of the University of the Northern Philippines in the heritage city of Vigan, province of Ilocos Sur. He is taking up Bachelor in Elementary Education at the said university and an incoming fourth-year student. He was awarded as the most outstanding student journalist of the university and at the same time a national, regional, and provincial awardee of different writing competitions. Moreover, at a young age, he manages a small clothing line business called Minimalist.ph, which started last June 2021. Let's welcome Mr. John Gracia.
Yes, very inspiring bio note.
Thank you, sir.
We're also very glad to be with our second guest, Miss Adja Mahumdar. Adja Mahumdar is a student at Crimson Arisha Global School, grade 10 from Pune, Maharashtra, India. She has participated in the Skypathon and various other law seminars. She has also been an active member of the MUN a number of times. Her powerful rendering in school debates and striking performances in dramatics are the other talents up her sleeve. Good in academics, she loves to participate in extracurricular activities as well. She has been a national karate champion twice and has directed a Shakespearean drama for the school. She is an avid reader. She also loves writing poetry and stories. Inspired by her family and their national and local history, she aims to pursue a major in law at Oxford University. Ladies and gentlemen, Ms. Adja Mahumdar.
Hello. Thank you.
Hi, Adja. Welcome
Hello. Thank you.
and happy International Youth Day.
Thank you.
Back to you, Brother Jim.
All right. So we also have Mr. Aniket Balaram Naidu. He's not a stranger to us because he's been with us in one of our national session a couple of months ago, Aniket Balram Naidu from India is a first generation college student and has studied in Teach for India classrooms, a network partner of Teach for All throughout his schooling years. Being passionate about space and research, he was his school's top notcher in science and math. Such story and dedication was captured by the NASA as part of a unique student leadership program called I Am a Teenager, I Am a Teacher. He has been working to help his community students. He wants to become an engineer and contribute to society as an educator. During the rise of the COVID-19 cases in India, Aniket has taken upon himself to educate members of his community in Maharashtra on the COVID-19 pandemic. Through a video, he explained what flattening the curve means in an easy to understand way. The video is already in circulation in his community. This was made with the aim of disseminating authentic information that can help everyone protect himself or herself of the COVID virus. So let's all welcome Aniket Balram Naidu. Hi,
Welcome
Aniket.
back, Aniket.
All right, so I think Aniket will be connecting with us in a few minutes. So let's proceed, Mr. Dr. Jesus.
Yes, Mr. Aniket has been messaging us for some tech problem, but we do hope that he could join us today. Another very promising youth is Mr. Lawrence Ishmael Villapando. Mr. Lawrence Ishmael Villapando graduated in grade 10 with high honors at the Father Angelico Lipani School in Las Piñas City. He served as a president of the Student Government Council from 2019 to 2020, and he is also awarded as the most outstanding in English, mathematics, and science for the school year 2018-2019. In his young age, Mr. Lawrence Ishmael had already engagement with different institutions as guest speaker. Last January 2020, he is one of the trainers in Accents for Best Link HRM professors and administrators. He was also invited by various institutions in the country as a guest speaker, trainer on content-based speech enhancement. He is also a piano, guitar, harmonica player, a performer, singer, rapper, and a writer. Ladies and gentlemen, to all our virtual participants, let's all welcome Mr. Lawrence Ishmael Villapando.
Hi,
Hi,
Lawrence. Good
Lawrence.
afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
All right. Right. Last but not the least, of course, very familiar with us. This two dynamic duo has been supporting the Department of Education's a lot of the Department of Education's advocacies and programs. So, lastly, we will be welcoming Mr. Christian and Mr. Jesse Perkins. Jesse and Christian Perkins, aka also known as Perkin Twins, are a popular Phil-Am pop duo with particular popular songs like Ikaw Na and Smile. They have been working with DepEd for over 4 years now as advocates for no drugs, no smoking, and no alcohol, no bullying, and of course, about purity. They have performed at over 1,000 schools for free across the Philippines. In 2019, they acted and directed with Hollywood actor Stephen Baldwin in the family-friendly Kaibigan movie. And in 2020, they acted and directed in the family-friendly Kaibigan TV series set during the pandemic lockdowns in Manila. This is still the only content made for mainstream media that brings real solutions to problems exasperated by the pandemic and, of course, the lockdowns that we're experiencing. They and their family are missionaries who work with youth and families in the Philippines. They are believers in Jesus Christ and, of course, are big supporters of the Department of Education. So let's all welcome Mr. Christian and Mr. Jesse Perkins.
Hello, hello. Hello. Good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon
All right.
to all our youth leaders and catalysts of change. Brother Jim, I give you the honor to ask first the first question.
All right. Aniket is already in the backstage, so let's just wait also a couple of maybe a few seconds before we start.
Yeah.
So let's just wait for him. Maybe a round of highs and hello. So how is everyone doing right now? We welcome Adia all the way outside the Philippines, and the rest of us are in the Philippines right now. So how are you guys? Oh, anyone who would like to start? Let's just break the ice first.
No, actually, it's going quite nice. The weather is quite nice in India, so it's going well.
Mhm.
All right. So welcome. Anyone else from the gentlemen from the Philippines? Anyone who would? How are you?
We're doing great. Thank you all for having us. And unfortunately, dito sa Manila, it's a little bit cloudy. So sana we were all in India, but we're blessed. But we're here and we're healthy and we're doing all right. So blessed to be here.
Thank you. Okay, may we know? Sorry, this is very candid. May we know who's Jesse and who's Christian?
Sure. Actually, sorry about that. Ako po si Jesse Perkins.
Yes,
And
yes.
I'm Christian over here.
And now we know who
Christian.
is Jesse and who is Christian.
All right. How about you, John, all the way from Ilocos? Nimbag na malam mo.
Naimbag Malemet, sir. Or good afternoon or good morning to all of us here. It is a great pleasure for me representing the University of Northern Philippines right here now, sir.
Mhm.
All right, and we look forward to listening to you, John. How about Lawrence?
Pleasant day to everyone. It's a great honor actually to be part of this discussion. So I would like to thank the moderators and the Department of Education for inviting me here. Thank you.
All right, I think Aniket is ready to join us. So let's welcome Aniket as he joins us in our discussion right now. All right, he's
Yes,
there.
here we go. Aniket is with us now. Hi,
Hi,
Aniket. Good
Aniket.
afternoon. Good morning. What's your time there in your place?
Aniket. Aniket,
Hello.
is your line good? Good.
Can you hear us? Kindly give us a thumbs up.
No, his screen is frozen. He might be having a technical problem. So we'll keep him in mind as we, of course, he'll definitely come back and join us as he tries to fix the technical concern. All right. So we're equally excited
Mhm.
to have
Yes, yes.
John, Lawrence, Adia, and of course Jesse and Christian to this discussion. So maybe Dr. Seuss, you may start first with the first part of our discussion. So for our guest, this we want to make this chill. All right. So just make sure that you share to us your thoughts, and of course we're here to listen to you. Dr. Jesus, maybe you want to start.
Yes, brother Jim. Listening to the bio notes as we introduced our youth speakers and resource persons today, we were amazed. They are indeed very notable leaders and catalysts of change in their respective communities through their own passion projects and advocacies. To know you better, we would like to ask about your context, where are you coming from, as well as your experiences, especially this time of the pandemic. And you can also cite some of your struggles and coping mechanisms as a student and as a youth. Maybe we could start with the rose among the thorns, Adia.
Yes, sure, why not? Yes, so the pandemic was, again, I was quite young now as well. I
Mhm.
was 13 when it started. And it was a very new experience, I think, because it wasn't
Mhm.
something that we thought we'd experience. It was something that we'd read about in textbooks. So that was a very, very new experience. My pandemic, I think it went rather well, a little more productive. I think I could have been a little more productive, but I did do quite well. I did struggle a little bit with anxiety mostly.
Mm.
I think that was something that was very difficult for me because I like going out, like a lot of other people, and just being shut into the house was a little difficult. It was a very dramatic change. And I think that is the main struggle that I went through, I think, dealing with anxiety. And the
Mm.
coping mechanisms, like you said, I think for me, one of my biggest coping mechanisms must be my pets. I have four dogs and three cats, so I am very big on pets. I think they were my main coping mechanism. And writing, I write quite a lot. I really,
Mm.
really enjoy writing. So a lot of poetry, a lot of stories. I think that is what really motivated me through the pandemic when there wasn't really anything else to do.
Thank you, Adia, and I do hope that you have developed a bunch of beautiful poetry and stories, and you have made use of this time as an opportunity to be productive. That is why, thank you again, Adja. That is
Thank
why,
you.
with that note, I would like also to ask perhaps Lawrence how you were able to transform the situation into something positive.
First of all, I would like to say thank you to everyone and to those listening. But for me personally, I find the ideas that you can say the experience I have gotten with this pandemic has been quite enlightening and quite saddening at the same time. You see, the lack of public interaction with friends and my teachers and fellow coworkers and colleagues, the lack of interaction makes it quite saddening. But in the personal specter, I find it to be quite enlightening because I can get to study anything and I can get to do anything and at the same time
Yeah.
read on anything. So I could say that a positive experience like this is highly subjective and it entirely depends on the individual whether or not it could be positive or it could be an enlightening experience, it could be vice versa, it could be etc.
Thank you very much, Lawrence. That message is likewise enlightening, and we do hope that our viewers, especially the youth, would be infected with that kind of positivity that you are emulating. Brother Jim, maybe you would like to ask uh, same question or follow-up questions for the rest of our guests today. Brother Jim. So let me continue. I don't know what happened to my brother. This time, let me hear from the twins, Jesse and Christian. How are you? And you're popular here in the Philippines, being in the show business. And just would like to ask if how your craft or how your talent have helped you overcome the pandemic.
Sure. Yeah. Well, actually, first of all, also thank you to DepEd and to everyone, Director Ballesteros, for inviting us. We're my brother and I. For those of you who aren't aware, my brother and I, we, as mentioned in the introduction, which is very gracious, by the
Mhm.
way, thank you. We visited over 1,000 schools pre-pandemic, and what we would do is we would advocate no drugs, no vices, basically doing your best to do the right thing in life. Lalo when you're still young, you're still youth.
Yeah.
So, syempre, when pandemic started, right, we couldn't do that anymore. So it was really kind of it was a bummer because that was kind of what we spent most of our time doing, going out, meeting new people, seeing different places, going to different places. And when the pandemic hit, obviously we were like, oh shoot, like what do we do now? And we thank God because at least naman we have this, right? We have technology, so we've done quite a bit of online stuff like this with DepEd also. We're just so blessed and happy to be able to be part of that experience. But maybe we just wanted to share it quickly with all of you. Na, you know, like it definitely is a hard time. And I think what's interesting about this pandemic is that everybody is affected. It doesn't matter, what like where you
Mhm.
live or look at this, right? We're all from different. We're a lot of us are from different countries here, and yet everyone was affected. Everyone was kind of taken aback, sort of, and there definitely are times where you can feel na, hey, like I'm sad about this or what a terrible thing. But I love what Lawrence said, Kanina. It's all about your perspective as well, and that's really what we tried to do. Also, was to make sure, hey, all right, we're here, right? We can't do anything about it. Everyone's going through it. So I know what are we gonna do? Are we just gonna sulk and we're gonna feel sad and think about it like that, or are we gonna take advantage of one thing extra time?
Mhm.
You know, my brother and I were able to learn how to produce music. We actually were able to produce that TV series called Kaibigan during this time, and it was really in an effort to, like we're doing now, all of us, right, to kind of inspire everybody who's listening to this, right? Nah, hey, there's still hope. And my brother and I also we did a lot of reading, especially the Bible, because we believe that that's the word of God, and that's very comforting because there are a lot of stories in the Bible where people were terrible things were happening to them, but at the end of the day, if they have strong faith, they can get through it. So definitely an important part of our mental health and our spiritual health was to dive into the Word of God. But maybe my brother can add a little bit. But
Yeah.
we're so blessed to be here. We're touched already by all of the stories that you guys have shared. So thank you.
Yeah, and just to add to what my brother said, and also I think Lawrence and Adia they alluded to this earlier, but yeah, it's true. There are some negative things that this pandemic has brought out, but the good thing is, in anything in life, there's always something positive that you can find in a situation, or it's always an opportunity that we can adapt or become stronger in the process. So, yeah, one of the good things is, we have a lot of time on our hands because, we can't go anywhere, right? We're in our house. So, a lot of times, pre-pandemic, it would be like, oh, I don't have time to do something. But now we have all the time in the world to do the things that, we maybe didn't have time for before. So that's a positive that come out of it. So, yeah. And like my brother said, it's just adapting to the situation and seeing the good out of it. So.
Thank you, Jesse and Christian. But wait, help me again recognizing who is Christian and who is Jesse. The first
All right.
speaker was,
Jesse is wearing the blue. My brother Christian, this is
yeah.
also blue actually, but yeah, yung basta
Okay,
yung
okay.
darker color si Christian.
I have noted down already, and I'm very glad that both of you could speak our language, the Filipino, because I could hear you code switch from English to Filipino to Tagalog, and I'm very proud of you. And
Thank you.
that was very heroic, serving as the young ambassadors of the Department of Education, serving as role models to our Filipino youth. Brother Jim, I truly believe that one of them is deserving to be in the Global Student Prize. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I hope you guys heard about the Global Student Prize. And I
Yeah.
don't know if you have heard about it. I hope that maybe you had your name on it, or maybe have someone nominated you. But yeah, I apologize for. I think this is the one of the main concerns right now, the internet connection. So my internet was not doing well a while ago. So I kind of missed some ideas there, but I was able to catch on what Jesse, Lawrence were speaking about a while ago. It's a very interesting perspective because as Dr. Jesus and I, we work as of course, we're educators, we're also school leaders, and it's always good to have a perspective of the youth because the school is really made, education is really made for the young people. Very inspiring, and of course, I think the beauty is seeing both the positive, of course, the negative thing that we could, we have right now in terms of the pandemic. Um, I think we can proceed to the next question. Very interestingly, um, how do you think how should your fellow youth, or maybe you, because of your experiences, what's your role? What do you think is your role and your contribution right now? We talk about like what Secretary Briones has mentioned a while ago. The national hero of the Philippines, Dr. Rizal, believes that the youth is the future of the nation, of the country. And cliche as it may sound, it always comes out during the youth celebration day. But
Mm.
yeah, what do you think is your role, or maybe what should you be contributing as part of the youth sector at this time of the pandemic? Um, what do you think should your fellow youth be doing right now?
Mhm. Maybe we could hear either Aniket or John for that question.
Okay, sir. Once again, good afternoon or good day to all to everyone. So I just want to reiterate again, youth as our national hero, Dr. Jose Pretacio Rizal once quoted that are the hope of the motherland. So by enabling us to join the rebuilding of the world through our eager engagement and fair perspectives, of course, we play significant roles in addressing the challenges of today. So let me start by politically speaking. So youth engagement can possibly solve the democratic deficits. So we can impart various policies that are capable of conforming to the current issues. So moreover, youth have the ability to abridge, to rebuild their trust to the different institutions, which withdraw them for having doubts for anomalies. So, as to mention, we have here in the Philippines the Sangguniang Kabataan of our country. It is a great platform in engaging youth in local, national, and even international connections and collaborations as to be equipped with global actions. So, economically speaking, brought by the various challenges of the world, the curve is slowly going downward due to insufficient supplies, unending demand, and sometimes hoarding. And many are being marginalized because of the high prices of goods and other basic necessities. However, youth, as to mention economic literacy, we are being empowered to lead economic changes through our own little ways like procuring products, selling our services, critiquing the market, and saving money. So, indeed, with wise and critical thinking, youth and economics are capable in economic or in attaining economic transformation. And as health crises were raised in the different countries, most especially today's global pandemic known as COVID-19, youth can help in positively affecting the adolescents about their mental health situations. By following the different health standard protocols issued by the government, it influences others to do the same. And on the other hand, wise decision making, of course, of food intake, proper exercise, and clean hygiene are some points for them to consider to avoid other diseases and be healthy. And for us to assure life's survival and protect our country's integrity, it is now or never to engage ourselves in the global transmission in the pursuit of a better future. So, as youth, the continuous journey of global actions that can change the world is not yet over. With enthusiasm, resiliency, determination, and compassion, we can live with what we are intended to be. As youth, we can be heroes and, of course, heroines of today, tomorrow, and, of course, the future.
All right. Thank you, John. I think
Yes.
that was a wonderful answer. I want to unpack John's answer later on because I want to hear from the perspective of our guests right now. So John spoke about the enthusiasm, how the young people could be part of even the decision making process of everything, not just in politics, but of course what's happening in a community. I would love to hear the perspective of Adia, for example. How do you see the youth in the youth's participation, special management of the COVID-19 pandemic?
Yes, so our community, at least in my city, we took up a lot of action. I think we were very, very I think hands-on with the process. One of the things that was done by the youth was that for the elderly, so that the elderly could get the vaccine to manage the outbreak, the youth, they searched out for walk-in hospitals and they stood in lines because the elderly maybe could not. And I was a little too young for that, but I did do what I could. A lot of charity, and I used to help my grandparents out as much as I could with whatever, buying milk, necessities, etc. And a lot of there was a program started by the youth where the youth was delivering necessities, basic necessities, milk, medicine, bread, etc. to the elderly, so that they don't have to come out of their houses and risk getting the infection. I think that was something that we did that really helped manage it, especially in the first half. And in the topic of accelerating, I think, studies, because we were suddenly pushed into an online environment. My school, especially, I think we are a very technology-based school. We're a Microsoft Showcase school. So for us, thankfully, it was not a very difficult transition. We were very easily just transitioned into remote learning. But one of our top universities came up with an online library of textbooks. I think it has 46 million books, so that the students don't have to pay for textbooks in a time when basic necessities is much more important. That's something that they should be spending their finance on. So all of these, I think a lot of little steps, a lot of very basic steps taken by the youth, delivering groceries, just helping the elderly get their vaccinations, the vaccination, the first and second doses, dropping them home. I think that was something that was a really big contribution. And also just staying out, just not staying inside, not out, sorry, staying inside their houses. I think that was something that was the I think that was the best thing that we could do as youth so that we don't infect others. I think that, except that, I think we've done pretty well, mostly. Being such a huge country, 1.3 billion people in India, I think we have managed quite well. Also, the youngsters, so about, I think, half the population of India falls below the age range of 25. So I think this being such a huge population of young people, I think we have done very, very well managing it and helping people, less fortunate people or elderly people, not contract the virus.
I love to pick up from what Adias mentioned. I think we can all learn from Adias sharing. I think everyone, not just the youth, if you could stay inside your home, it stays inside your home. That's actually a contribution already, a very concrete one to managing the COVID-19 pandemic. Adia's perspective, very practical. I love your thoughts, Adia, and yeah, I think that's um, this is a good, you see the spectrum of how the youth could really help in the society. You have John and his perspective on maybe how the youth can be part of the policy making, decision making processes of a community. Adia, of course, on a very practical note, yeah, you don't have to be a leader to make a contribution as a youth, right? So lovely words from both John and Adia. Now maybe let's listen to Lawrence. What about you, Lawrence? What are your thoughts about the youth and your contribution?
I would like to assert first the general notion of the education system that the attitude portrayed by this school system occasionally gives the youth a particular set of emotions and a particular set of thoughts and a particular way of learning. But first and foremost, we must assert the notion that the school system asserts to us is the fact that this mindset that our fellow youths, like the children today, those under 30, the school system would portray the education as a redundant form of learning. But with this pandemic, we have distanced ourselves to online learning. We have virtual learning programs. We have various new educational platforms that can be practically accessed anywhere around the world. And we're just sitting at home doing the same things. But the great news is that our fellow youth are learning. And the fact that our youth today are more privileged than our grandfathers and our ancestors were. You see, I would like to mention the fact that many of my fellow peers today highly underestimate the fact that they take technology for granted. They don't usually have a second thought about it. But 100 years ago, there was no television, there was no modern appliances, there was no vehicular machineries. Today, we are gifted with advanced technology, and technology educates us. But the fellow youth, or most of the majority of the youths, highly take for granted these technologies. For a suggestion, I would highly encourage them to read more books, particularly philosophy, particularly also in leadership and general knowledge in retrospect. And I hope that the fellow youths can understand that knowledge is more than just learning, it's about thinking what you're learning. Garnering information from someone else is good, but if you cannot think or question the information, then but a particular astonishment for this aspect to be concurred. Thank you.
Thank you, Lawrence. What I got from Lawrence is that the importance of, maybe not just the importance of not just questioning, but maybe being more aware of the things um, that you hear from other people. I think if I want to apply it further and make it more concrete, I'm just throwing this out, and you guys could correct me if I'm wrong or not. The generation right now is a TikTok generation, social media generation, and it's easy. It's easy to get information from there. And if I want to learn something from Lawrence, Lawrence is basically saying that maybe we need to be more careful. We need to be more critical with things that we hear on the internet or maybe in social media. So I want to go back to that later on because I have a question on how the general population sees the youth of today, right? And speak of inspiring people, the Perkin twins are you guys are on the or you guys are on the limelight, right? So you're part of the show business, and I do wonder, given your exposure, how do you maximize the platform that you have right now? At the same time, making sure that you inspire the youth to your fellow youth to make a contribution at this time of the pandemic.
Sure, sure. Yeah. Well, like I mentioned earlier, I think, well, to be honest, I hope that this eventually will be the kind of the the goal of all people who are in show business, but not just for people in show business, but for everybody. and that would be to use your platform, whatever platform you have, to inspire people. So our whole thing is, sure, we want to make people smile, make people laugh, like we want them to enjoy when we sing or whatever like that. But more than that, like it shouldn't just be entertainment, because that'll come and go, and we want something to last. And that's hopefully what we tell them, and how to live your life and those kinds of things. So our real goal through our craft is to do that. So that's why when we made this kaibigan thing, sure, it's got a nice compelling story. They got big actors. It's funny. There's kilig stuff, all of this stuff. But at the end of the day, we always have kind of a lesson at the end. All right, after you watch this, how do you apply what you watched and actually use it in your actual life? Because that's what we need right now. And unfortunately, with the whole TikTok thing, like, sure, there's a bunch of funny stuff. People are good at dancing, but at the end of the day, like what's the point, right? And we want to make sure that I'm calling out everybody here too, that whatever platform we're at, and you don't even have to be a celebrity or a singer or an artist or whatever, but I just kind of wanted to add to the last question too. If you're a student, right, just do your best in your school. If you're just a daughter or a son, just work hard in your home, help out with the chores, stuff like that. Simple things, because when your parents see that, they'll be inspired too to work hard and all of these things. So I just think that's a kind of a simple way to also look at it. And hey, we don't have to have these giant platforms, because wherever you're at, that's like God wants you there for a reason, because you can touch whoever's in your little sphere or big sphere of influence. So we're not perfect, right? We do our best na lang, to do that. And after this too, I'm inspired to do even more. But by God's grace, we're getting by, and our goal talaga is, hey, we can do this, right? If we just stay focused on what really matters, don't worry about the negative stuff, stay on track, and do what God wants you to do.
Yeah, and just also, just to touch on the question that was asked earlier about, what the youth can do right now. I think the best thing, honestly, to put it bluntly, I guess, would be to grow up. And I mean, in terms of, maturity, being responsible, because a time like this, right, it could be easy to, when you're just at home, you're not doing anything, to take the route of thinking, oh, I'm young, so I don't really need to do anything right now. It's let the grown-ups take care of everything, right? So let me just watch Netflix and do TikTok all day, right? But there's a good verse that says, when I became a man, I put away childish things, right? So I think a good thing is really to be responsible and mature with the time you have, because like we've been talking about this whole time, this time we have can either be, we waste it, or I mean, in general, even in life, we can waste our time, we can waste our youth, or we can be responsible, and we can take advantage of the time we have, and really mature and be responsible, and grow up in a good way.
Right. Thank you, Jesse and Kristen. I love your point on growing up. It's good to hear from you guys. I almost said fellow youth. I'm not a youth anymore. So, but it's good to hear you guys telling your fellow youth to grow up. At least they're not only hearing it from the adults, right? So, lovely words. Aniket I've heard Aniket's story even before, a month ago, or a couple months ago. He's into engineering and he's done a lot of stuff. Aniket, how about the youth on your side, on your perspective? How do you inspire them? Like, because it's very challenging to be an engineer. I'm pretty sure, Aniket, you're a very gifted youth in terms of talent and everything. So, what are your thoughts about your fellow youth contributing right now?
Okay, so can you all hear me? First of all, I want to ask that question because my internet is not working properly.
Aniket, I was asking, yeah, Aniket, can you hear us? We can hear you.
I can hear. Okay. So.
Okay.
So we know that I have talked in our last webinar that about we were working under our program. I am a teenager, I am a teacher. That we made small videos so that all the local people who doesn't understand English, and we made small videos to make sure that they understand the seriousness of this pandemic in the local languages. But there are some pretty good things that are like our organization like Teach for India did. So what is Teach for India? First let me introduce what is Teach for India. Teach for India is a part of a global movement, Teach for All. And like I have spent all my life in Teach for India classroom studying from wonderful teachers who have guided all of us, like me and my friends. So there is like huge gap in India when it comes to education. If you are rich, if you are well off, you get best education possible in our country. But if you're not rich and you're not well off, you struggle to even get educated. So that's the difference that we have. And Teach for India was instrumental in making sure that difference doesn't exist. Anyone born in any part of country has access to an excellent education is what Teach for India believes and is also has made all of us believe in. Now, why am I talking about Teach for India now is because it has left me a message that I am never going to forget, and it has stood out leading by example and not by only mere words, not by just preaching, but has done something for which I, as an Indian, am not only grateful, but I'm privileged to know that I'm working for Teach for India and understand exactly what it has done. During the pandemic, under Shahin Misri, the CEO of Teach for India, we started working to ensure a number of things for kids who come from some of the very difficult backgrounds, like violent backgrounds, under-resourced communities in India. TFI was supposed to work in order to make sure every student studies and every student has access to excellent education. When the pandemic struck us, Shanmisi and the entire team of Teach for India, my teachers, all the students, we came all together to start working to help kids from some of the lowest income groups and to survive during this pandemic. Most of the students had their parents working as daily wage labor. Now just imagine India when it was going through bad time during COVID, when there was the strictest lockdown possible. Everyone lost a job. It was a question of survival. And Shahid Misri made sure that she used the structure present at Teach for India, where she was leading, when she was supported by the city directors in the different cities. Then those city directors were supported by the staff members, by 1,000 fellows we have in Teach for India. And the alumni, over 3,000 alumni supported Shine Mystery. This structure made use of this organization by the members of this team, make sure that no child of the Teach for India should go hungry. That we raised enough funds. Shine Mystery started raising in the name of Teach for India, where she raised over 10 million rupees, where she made my internet is not working again.
Yeah, Aniket, we can hear you.
Okay, sorry. She raised over 10 million rupees to make sure that, yes, we were fighting the digital dividend. We were trying to ensure every student studies and they're not affected by COVID-19 pandemic as far as their education is concerned. But we were also very serious as an organization to make sure the kids do not suffer, the families do not suffer, and we did everything possible, right from distributing food to working with the kids in the community to make sure that no one goes hungry. This is the power of this is the power of youth. This is the power of India, independent India. India was the India was ruling over 23 to 25% GDP before. 23 to 25% GDP was whole world before the British rule. But when Britishers left us, India's GDP India's GDP like per capita income dropped to 228 rupees only. India's literacy rate dropped to 12%. That was, you can imagine how bad it was. But after 75 years of independence, we still managed to become the fifth largest GDP in the world. And that was all possible because of the young youth. We have like 41% of India under 18 years old. That is a lot of young labor. So you can imagine what we can do if we all contribute to make India proud. And I hope we become a I hope that we become a superpower one day, not for global domination, but for the global peace. Thank you.
All right. Aniket, that was so wonderful. I like your message about, unifying and mobilizing everyone, especially the youth. And I'm so inspired with your story on how you were able to mobilize everyone and to make sure that the basic needs of even the young children, especially at this time of the pandemic, are met. And of course, you have a very robust network, the Teach for India. Of course, network is there, and it's so as an educator, it's always heartwarming to hear the youth who sees so much. They see education, of course, as a very important part of being growing up, being raised as a youth. And of course, Aniket, I think you guys did a wonderful job in making sure that even the other especially the young ones in your community do not miss out on the basic needs. I think very similar with Adia, Aniket and Adia, you guys are so into the practical side of making sure that everyone gets to have an access to basic needs, especially at this time of the
Mhm.
pandemic. So yeah, uh, wonderful sharing, Aniket. Um, Dr. Jesus, I think what we've gotten really is that everyone could really do the youth belonging to different sectors also or subsectors could really make a different contribution. Um, John is on the policy making. Lawrence is someone who's emphasizing the importance of studying. Adia and Aniket, they're on the ground level, mobilizing their fellow youth. And of course, we have the Perkin twins, reminding that regardless of who you are, what you do, you can still do your bit, your part in contributing to the society. So I think that was a wonderful sharing of how everyone gets to be part of something right now. So Dr. Jesus, back to you.
Yes, yes. Yes, that was very brilliant, and a lot of things we have learned. We, belonging to the mainstream societies, could learn a lot from our speakers this afternoon, and that is what we call youth power in transforming their communities and beyond. That was this has been a very engaging exchange of ideas and insights, and brother Jim, to have a closure of all the sharing by our guest this afternoon. Maybe we could have uh, a short message. Dear young people, you have the platform right now, and you can give now your message to the world and to the universe in today's celebration of the International Youth Day. Maybe we could start with Aniket this time. Just a short
Okay, so,
message for the world and for the universe.
okay. So as we are celebrating the Youth Day, so we have, as a youth, we have a lot of capabilities, but also we have a lot of responsibilities. Make sure to balance that, but just because we have responsibilities, that doesn't mean we should ignore what we are good at, but also make sure that you do not ignore your responsibilities too. Thank you.
Thank you, Aniket. How about Lawrence? Lawrence, your parting words, your message for all the youth.
To the youth of the world and to those listening, these are my messages. I want you to study hard, study well, have a good life, and always be happy. Do not contemplate things that you cannot achieve. Do not think about things that are too complicated. Live a simple life, and everything will go to you. Let rivers flow, and the life will be yours.
That was very convincing, Lawrence. Thank you. Let's proceed to John. Um,
Okay, sir. The COVID-19 pandemic truly
your
pushed.
message.
Yes, sir. The COVID-19 pandemic truly pushed the reset button of life, especially in education. So, the drastic shift from the traditional to almost online, both jobs and schooling, is indeed a huge challenge for all of us, especially the youth. So, I just want to tell that to all of you out there, or to all youth out there, and to the people who are watching right now, always remember that you are all valid, you are loved, you are beautiful, you are amazing, and you are not alone. We can transform this world to the best it could be. and together let us embrace the new normal and be optimistic. Because at the end of the day, the sun sets beautifully, and tomorrow it will surely shine with hope and mystery. Thank you.
Very beautiful, John. Thank you very much. How about Adia?
Yes, thank you. So, again, a very practical approach. I think the best things that the youth could do right now is follow the WHO guidelines, not be misinformed, go to the website, read about how to prevent it. And while you are at home, try be to work on yourself. I think in whatever ways you can, be curious about the world. We have all the information at our fingertips, and I think we could put that to really good use.
Thank you, Adia. And last but not the least, we have Jesse and Christian.
All right, so hello everybody who's listening. Just want to say thank you all for being here, for listening. Also, all the teachers and stuff, we love you guys. Keep up the good work, and also all the students, keep up the good work. All the youth, just keep doing your best. Don't worry about the things you can't control. Just focus on the things that you can do to help your family, your friends, to help yourself. Be healthy, exercise, eat right, and just do your best, and God will do the rest. So keep your faith in Him, trust in Him, and you'll be all right. We got this, all right? Lahat tayo, we're all in this together. So, kaya mo, we're praying for all of you. We love all of you.
Yeah, and then as a youth, make sure your perspective is always correct. That it's not that you're a youth and that you can't make an impact. You should instead look at it. Use your youth as a way to make an impact. And a quick verse, a great verse. Let no man despise thy youth, but be thou an example for believers in word, in charity, in conversation, in spirit, in faith, in purity.
Thank you very much. All of you are very wonderful, and that was also a very wonderful discussion. Thank you for your outstanding and exemplary contributions to your own communities and even beyond. Thank you for sharing your thoughts and insights. We have one maxim or saying that goes padayon. That means let's continue what we have started. Back to you, Brother Jim.
All right. I think it's also worth noting, and of course, greeting Aniket and Nadia, the 75th anniversary of India's independence. So happy Independence Day to Aniket and Adia at this time.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, definitely the youth is not wasted on these young people that we have right now. So yeah, I'm pretty sure that we can push forward what we have learned from everyone who's here in the panel. At this juncture, we will be hearing and watching from the video greetings from the different youth who have sent their messages to us as we celebrate the International Youth Day. So maybe let's play them, and of course, let's listen to their messages.
Hello everyone, I am Joselito Ayo and I am in Italy now, and I wish everyone a happy International Youth Day.
Hi everyone, I'm Jeremiah Bautista from Milan, Italy, wishing everyone a happy International Youth Day. Thank you.
Hi everyone, I am Laura May Perez from Milan, Italy, wishing everyone a happy International Youth Day. Thank you.
Hello everyone, I am Venus Lapina. I am here in Rome, Italy. I wish everyone a happy International Youth Day. Thank you and God bless us all.
Ciao a tutti, sono Kelvin Rockwell da Milano, Italia. Wishing everyone a happy International Youth Day. God bless.
Buona festa internazionale dei ragazzi. E proprio a voi che va il mio augurio, a voi che siete la nostra forza e la nostra speranza, in questo momento ancora di più, Grazie alla vostra genialità e alla vostra fantasia e creatività possiamo introdurre
Hi guys, this is Julian Rojas. Happy International Youth Day to all the young people of the Philippines, the world, the universe. Stay strong, stay healthy, and keep on learning new things.
Hi everybody, my name is Naila Sherbaji. I'm your Miss Philippines Earth 2021 and I'm from Merville Village. I just wanted to wish everybody a happy International Youth Day. I hope you're enjoying today as much as possible and everybody, I hope you take care. Stay safe. Bye.
Hi, I am
I think we're having some technical difficulties right now, so we can go to the next part as we wait for the video.
Yes, brother Jim, and I would like to invite everyone to join me. Happy International Youth Day. Now, we'll be having a guest performer for this afternoon. They are known for their popular songs like Ikaw, Ikaw Na, and Smile, and from the movie and TV series Kaibigan. They were also part of our guest speakers, pool of guest speakers for today, who share their stories and experiences in overcoming the pandemic. Please welcome Mr. Christian and Mr. Jesse, also known as the Perkins twins.
Hello again, everybody. We're so happy and again blessed and honored to be part of this program. Thank you all to the other speakers as well. I hope one day after the pandemic's over, we can go out to India and visit you guys. But for now, it was great meeting you all, and thank you also to Sir Jim and Sir Jesus and everybody who's part of this. We love all of you. This is a song. It's an original song. I hope you like it, and I hope the lyrics speak to all of you. It's called Smile, and all of us, lahat tayo, I hope we can all smile in the midst of these trying times. So here we go. Enjoy, everybody. Deep in the downloads, stuck and don't know where to go. Looking for just a friend though. So here's a kind word to show that life's not over. Don't look over your shoulder, look ahead and know that God will be with you. And when you think of quitting, time to quit your overthinking. Think of good and all you got to do. Smile, it's gonna be alright. Smile, I'll be here right by your side. Smile, it's gonna be okay. Smile, just let it go and pray. Smile, it's gonna be alright. Smile, I'll be here right by your side. Smile, it's gonna be okay. Smile, just let it go and pray and smile. So there you have it. I hope all of you will smile. You can check out the full song on our YouTube channel. We're the Perkins Twins. I promise. Hopefully, it makes you smile. There's some dancing to it, all that stuff. But God bless you all. Yeah. Thank you so much. We love Dep Ed, mga teachers. We love you, students, all you guys. God bless.
Thank you very much, Jesse and Christian, the Perkins twins, for that very wonderful performance. Thank you to all our youth speakers and models for joining us for this very wonderful and very important event to celebrate youth power. Brother Jim?
Yeah, you know what? I got bitten with the Perkins twins song, so pretty sure everyone will be going to their YouTube account channel
Yes, yes,
and
yes.
listen to their song. So, yeah. All right. So I think we're ready with the video. Oh,
Mhm.
okay. Sorry. The videos will be played after the closing remarks. So before we let our guest speakers go, we will proceed with the awarding of the certificates. So let me read the citation, and hopefully the certificate could be flashed also. All right. So the Republic of the Philippines Department of Education, in collaboration with the National Youth Commission, the Global Teacher Prize Ambassadors Philippines, GTPA, PH, Empower Ed, and of course the United Nations Youth Associations of the Philippines. The Certificate of Appreciation is awarded to John Bernard de Gracia, Mr. Adia Majumdar, Mr. Anaket Balram Naidu, Mr. Lawrence Ishmael Villapando, and to Mr. Christian Perkins and Mr. Jesse Perkins for sharing his or her invaluable knowledge and insights as resource speaker during the youth talks, Rising Above and Beyond the Global Pandemic, held on the 15th of August 2021 Sunday via StreamYard and Facebook Live, given this 15th of August 2021. Signed, of course, by our beloved director, Director Margarita Consolacion C. Ballesteros, PhD, Director 4 of the International Cooperation Office of the Department of Education. All right. So yeah, I
Thank
think there.
you.
Thank you so much, our dear speakers.
Congratulations
Thank
to
you.
all our youth speakers. Brother Jim, this time let us proceed with the photo opportunity for us to have a souvenir of this very important event.
Okay, so whoever is taking our picture, we let's bring Director March Ballesteros also back to the panel. All right,
Hi
so everyone.
guys,
Hello, Dr. Marge.
you're all amazing. I've been receiving hundreds and hundreds of messages already. I don't know how to reply to them in my messenger. Thank you, Jesse, and thank you, Christian.
Yes.
I'm greeting you according to the boxes I see on screen. Of course, to John, all the way from the north. For Adia from India. Of course, Dr. Jess, Aniket, welcome back. We hope to be engaging you in another work come next month. Of course, to Ismael, or I call him Law or Lawrence, and of course to Sir Jim. Thank you guys for making this day memorable, significant, and also challenging for the younger ones like you out there who are listening, not only the learners but also our teachers. So let's proceed with the photo opportunity with you guys before we will send you off. Thank you.
Right, I
Oh,
think we're good.
okay.
Whoever took
Thank
the
you.
photo, thank you so much.
All right. Thank you very much. Jim?
Dr. Jesus.
Yes, Brother Jim and Dr. Marge, to formally close our program, let me call on the board of United Nations Youth Associations of the Philippines, Mr. Tom Aquino Mariano, for his message.
Mapagpalang hapon sa ating lahat. Pagbati mula sa United Nations Association of the Philippines o UNAP ng Happy 22nd International Youth Day. Pinabati rin po namin ang Department of Education sa pamamagitan ng opisinang International Cooperation Office sa matagumpay na pagdaraos nitong Youth Talks na may temang Rising Above and Beyond Global Pandemics. Nagpapasalamat po ang United Nations Youth Association of the Philippines o Youth Arm ng UNAP na kami po'y ginawa ninyong bahagi ng gawaing ito. Sumasaludo po kami sa mga naging bahagi ng Youth Talks, mula sa mga kabataang naging lecturer, naging speaker, na nagpakita ng kahusayan, nagpahayag ng mga kaalaman at karunungan sa kanilang mga topics. Kami po ay tunay naniniwala sa mga gawaing ganito na pangkabataan. Ako po bilang bahagi ng UNAP at bilang board member po nito at chairman po o nag-handle ng youth arm na UNYAP, ay may isang mensahe na kung saan mensahe ng pagkakaisa. Na magkaisa po tayo para sa isang proyekto na tingin ko ang Department of Education ay naniniwala dito. Ang pagtulong-tulungan po natin ang pag-abot ng Sustainable Development Goals. Ito po ay proyekto na dapat po pagtulong-tulungan ng ahensya ng gobyerno tulad ng DepEd at isama na rin po natin ang Commission on Higher Education para sa mga kolehiyo at ganoon din po ang Department of Interior Local Government para naman po sa mga sangguniang kabataan. Naniniwala po tayo na kung magtutulong-tulong po ang DepEd, CHED, DILG ay kasama po ang UNAP, tingin ko po pwede po tayo magkaisa. Pwede po tayo magkaroon ng mga proyekto na kung saan ang tanging layunin ay paano magtagumpay sa adhikain na maabot ang Sustainable Development Goals. Tinatanggap po natin ang hamon na ang UNYAP po ang manguna dito at makipag-ugnayan po sa DepEd, DILG at CHED para nang sa gayon ang kilos para dito ay maging isang puwersa. Tingin ko po ang ating dapat gawin ay magkaroon po ng UNYAP sa bawat eskwelahan, sa bawat barangay, sa pakipagtulungan ng mga SK officials, student council officers. Tayo po ay dapat magkaroon ng kaalaman tungkol sa Sustainable Development Goals, magkaroon ng mga proyekto para ito ay maabot. Halimbawa na lamang po, pag-usapan po natin ang no poverty. Nawa po ay magkaroon po ng mga proyekto na magbabawas po ng mga kawalan ng trabaho. No hunger. Magkaroon po ng mga proyekto na magkaroon po ng masaganang pagkain sa bawat lamesa. Magkaroon po ng mga proyektong mass feeding at iba pang mga bagay na matugunan ang no hunger. At marami pa po. Meron po tayong 17 Sustainable Development Goals na tingin ko bilang dumadalo ng Youth Talks na to, akin pong hinahamon ng lahat na sana magkaroon po tayo ng kaalaman sa SDGs. Baka humamaya tayo mismo bilang leader kabataan, guro, SK officials, hindi po alam ang 17 Sustainable Development Goals. Kung kaya't nais ko pong sabihin na sa pagtatapos po natin ng Youth Talks na to, nawa po ito'y maging bagong panimula para sa mas mataas at malalim na gawain tulad ng pag-abot ng Sustainable Development Goals. Naniniwala po ako na marami po tayong pwedeng pagtulong-tulungan na maging ugnayan. Kaya't binubukas ko po ang opisina ng UNYAP, ng UNAP, para kami po ay inyong kontakin at tayo po ay magpatuloy sa pakipag-ugnayan para sa gawain ito. Maaari niyo pong kontakin ang aming page, FB page, ang Unya-Philippines, or ang FB account namin po na UNYAP sa Pinas. Nawa po ay magbukas po tayo ng koordinasyon para nang sa gayon pagtulong-tulungan po natin ang magandang adhikain nito. Ulitin ko po, sumasaludo po ako sa Department of Education sa pagtaguyod ng ganitong mga gawain at binabati ko po kayo sapagkat ito po ay masasabi nating matagumpay nating nagawa sa kabila ng pandemic. God bless Department of Education, ang International Cooperation Office, ang mga kabataan, leader kabataan, mapaeskwelahan man o komunidad. Nawa po, mabuhay po ang kabataan na magtutulong-tulong para sa Sustainable Development Goals. God bless.
Was Mr. Mariano of UNYAP who conveyed his warmest congratulations to all our youth guests and who conveyed his message of unity, transformation, and sustainable development.
Again, we want to greet every youth a happy International Youth Day. This has been Francis Jim Toscano.
And Sir Jesus Insilada. Thank you, everyone who joined us in this very momentous event.
Hanggang sa muli, goodbye everyone and stay safe.
Hello everyone, I am Joselito Ayo and I am in Italy now. And I wish everyone a happy International Youth Day.
Hi everyone, I'm Jeremiah Bautista from
Wish everyone a happy International Youth Day. Thank you and God bless us all.
Ciao a tutti, sono Kelvin Rockwell da Milano, Italia. Wishing everyone a happy International Youth Day. God bless.
Buona festa internazionale dei ragazzi. E proprio a voi che va il mio augurio, a voi che siete la nostra forza e la nostra speranza, in questo momento ancora di più. Grazie alla vostra genialità e alla vostra fantasia e creatività possiamo introdurre delle nuove professioni per il nostro successo economico-sociale a livello globale. Grazie alla vostra intelligenza, all'introduzione delle nuove tecnologie e il gioco forza nella relazione, perché insieme riusciremo a sconfiggere questo momento. E grazie a voi ragazzi per combattere, continuare a combattere tutti uniti per un mondo sostenibile in cui il nostro successo è non dimenticarci la relazione e la comunicazione e il valore delle piccole cose. Quindi auguri e forza a tutti dall'Italia.
Hello, this is Mr. Fu at Happy International Youth Day sa buong Pilipinas, sa buong mundo, sa buong universe. Stay healthy, strong, and safe. Mabuhay tayong mga kabataan. Magganon!
Greetings from Daegu, Republic of Korea.
Happy International Youth Day!
Stay safe and be happy.
Bye!
Hola, I am Roberto from Oaxaca, wishing everyone a happy International Youth Day. Gracias.
Hola, I'm Alex from Guadalajara, wishing everyone a happy International Youth Day. Gracias.
Hola, I am Cesar from Zapopan, Jalisco, wishing everyone a happy International Youth Day. Gracias.
I am Victor Manuel Urbano de la Cruz from Tabasco, wishing everyone a happy International Youth Day. Thank you.
Hi, I am Jacobo Solis Barba from Mexico, wishing everyone a happy International Youth Day. Thank you.
Happy International Youth Day to all the young people of the Philippines, the world, and the universe. Stay happy, stay healthy and strong, and keep on learning new things.
Hello, I am Rashid Idibillah from Morocco, greeting you a happy International Youth Day.
Hello everyone, I am Joseph Miley from Myanmar, wishing everyone a happy International Youth Day. Thank you.
Hi everybody, this is TJ Marquez greeting you a happy International Youth Day to all the young people in the Philippines, the world, and the universe. Always keep safe guys, keep strong and keep healthy. And also don't forget to keep on learning new things. Again, this is TJ Marquez. Happy Youth Day, everyone.
Hello everyone, my name is Abibu Wamanpan. I'm from Chilosavitiya School, Ayutthaya, Thailand. So today is Youth Day, International Youth Day. So I hope God bless you, okay? Sawadee.
Hi everyone, I'm Catherine Bravo from Lima, Peru, and I want to wish to all of you a happy International Youth Day.
Happy International Youth Day to all the young people of the Philippines at syempre sa buong mundo. Stay strong, stay healthy.